Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Where's Carl here on the Monkey Caviar Podcast Network. I'm Tiny, your host. With me, as always, Adam Levy. Adam, how are you this evening?
I'm doing great, Mike. How you doing?
Good, good. Sorry we got off to a little bit of a slow and late start.
Well,
We had some technical issues.
what would our show be without technical issues?
They wouldn't be a damn
That's
thing.
that's the one thing you can count on is technical issues.
Need to get the chat room up.
That's right.
Yeah, so we're working. It's a slow process tonight.
Yeah, we're getting there though. One of these days we'll have our shit together.
One day. It is not this day.
And how long have we been doing this now?
But too long that we should have these kind of technical issues. What the hell? It won't let me open another window.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I've got the chat room open, so.
All right. If you see anybody in there, let me know.
Will do.
All right. We'll talk about the big scary you, as it were, in episode 5. Yet again, one more episode without my girl.
Yeah. I was hoping that we'd get at least a glimpse of her just for you, but we got a tease of her in the trailer for next week, so you at least know she's going to be coming. So that should help you sleep a little easier at night.
I don't sleep easier. I'm upset all the time. I just want Michonne.
I'm sure you're not the only one feeling this pain.
I'm sure. All right, so I was watching this episode, The Gaming Idea, and I wanted to hit it before we start talking about the episode itself.
All right.
It's the idea of a series that is shot from multiple point of views that you can watch multiple times a week. Like there's 3 episodes a week from 3 different vantage points, all covering the same stuff, which is kind of what this episode was.
Yeah, a little bit. That would be, I mean, I don't know, but 3 episodes might be a bit much. Maybe 2 from these 2 different.
Imagine 2.
I mean, that could be interesting. I mean, especially if the points of views are completely different. It's not just a matter of seeing the same scene from a different angle, but seeing it told from a completely different perspective. That could actually be interesting. Just to get a glimpse of.
If we're watching it from the Savior side of it for one episode, and then from Rick's side from another episode, you'd be getting both sides posted in a more heroic vantage.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if people necessarily want to see the Saviors in a heroic way, but I mean, imagine if it was for like a different show, I could see that working. But I mean, I like the idea of getting the other side's perspective, only because these people don't think they're doing anything wrong. Especially after some of the stuff Negan says, they think they're in the right, that they're the good guys.
Right, both sides think that they're doing the right thing, and that they're the the good guys.
Yeah.
No one
it's
thinks
interesting to see. It's interesting to see how other people think their perspectives are.
Yeah, no one thinks they're the bad guy in their own story.
No,
that's just the way it is. You're always the hero in your own tale. So this being from the other perspective, I thought it was interesting that it would start with Father Gabriel praying for a purpose for his death, and not just to have a meaningless death. He wanted a purpose to it, which I think forebodes badly for the good Rev.
Yeah, I think we might be losing him at some point this season, and I'm not going to be too sad if we do lose him. I like Gabriel. I like Gabriel and Negan's interactions. They've had some fun moments over the course of the last couple seasons.
There have been a few, yeah.
But he's a character that ultimately, if he goes, I don't think it's going to be a tragic loss for any side.
We'll get to what's wrong with him at the end of this, but there's a special guest on Talking Dead next week, so
that usually never sounds good.
It never bodes well. It doesn't. As soon as he says it, you're just like, oh crap, somebody's died.
Somebody's gonna die.
So hopefully, it's Father Gabriel. All right, let's see what I got here. All right, so Simon does a wakey wakey eggs and pancakes.
I love that opening scene with
There's so many
yeah.
breakfast food references in The Walking Dead.
Lately there have been, yeah, Simon and Gregory bit in the beginning of the episode was hilarious. I mean, especially as Gregory, like Simon going on like, oh, as soon as you're full of my love, come on out and join us. I mean, some very
It's
disturbing
classic.
signs and scenery, talked about there. But I mean, I like the fact that that Simon, has done his best to kind of comfort Gregory in this situation. The whole thing, like, you did the right thing. You came to me. You came to the outpost where I said you'd be, even though I wasn't there. You came and you waited, and you did what we told you to do.
See, I saw this scene as a total different thing.
Oh,
I saw this as a Simon getting Gregory ready for Negan's questioning.
in a way, yeah. But you even kind of saw it later on when they were questioning, where Simon tells him like, "Look, I believe you." I think Simon knows that for as much of a coward and as much of a whiner as Gregory is, that he's on their side. That he's well, I wouldn't say on his side, but he's looking out for the best interest of himself mostly, and his people secondly.
Right, and I think what he's doing here is, like I said, he's peppering the witness and getting the witness ready for cross. I think maybe Simon was an attorney before the apocalypse. How do you like that?
That would be one hell of an attorney,
right?
I'd want him to defend me in a trial.
He could be Better Call Saul level of attorney. Little
Jacoby and Myers action going on.
So yeah, so he basically gets him ready for Negan, and then there's this big sit down with like it's Negan and Dwight and Eugene and Regina and some other dude whose name I don't know. I'll just call him Spencer because that's what I do.
That's your go-to name for Walking Dead characters.
That's a go-to name. Is that Spencer? That's Spencer. Spencer's still around, right? Yeah. So Negan makes a big deal about saying that we're the saviors. We save people. I don't kill people. I kill the right people at the right time.
Yeah. If killing one person can save 100, I'll take that. I'll take that hit.
I like that he said, I don't kill people unless they need killing.
Yeah. And, it's funny that you only ever see Negan lose his shit around his own people. He never does this around anybody else. Even when Rick was mouthing off to him and, Rick was, not doing the things that Negan wanted to. Negan always kind of came across as being calm and collected and even a bit smart-assy. But like this scene here where he's like bashing the table with Lucille and screaming at people, you don't see this.
How pockmarked? You see how pockmarked the table was from Lucille banging on it?
Yeah.
I thought that was a great piece of set decoration.
Yeah. But like you never see him do this with anybody outside of their group. I mean, with even with the whole like iron to the face, thing like this is, you don't ever see him lose his composure to the people he's trying to control. And I think that's an interesting tactic because, if these outsiders see this weakness or this kind of cracking in the armor, then that might give them, the idea to do what Rick is already doing now. But, in order to with his own group, he has no problem, stepping up and just, laying the shit down.
Yeah, and I think that's really interesting thing about him. And he takes this scene that could have gone really bad. I mean, he could have just started whacking people in the head.
Yeah.
But he finds a fury in it and then brings the control back to it and is like, okay, now that I have your attention, let's focus on the goals at hand.
See, I'm curious about what went on with Negan and Simon from before the whole, like, are we regressing? I want to know what Simon did before that Negan is questioning him about this for.
Was Simon maybe the leader of the Saviors prior to Negan's arrival?
Maybe, or maybe at least in a position, I don't know, except it almost sounds like, the previous leader that Negan was talking about in the trailer is probably dead. Or, this guy didn't do anything.
It's what it sounded like, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's so, especially in this show.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, even later on when they think Negan's dead, you see Simon kind of stepping up. It's almost like Simon kind of wants to be in charge, but doesn't necessarily have the balls to take Negan out.
Or the charisma to achieve the goal.
No, I mean, I think he's a charismatic motherfucker, but I don't know. Yeah, he's not Negan level charismatic.
No, few are. Few are.
Yeah, very few are.
So I love Gregory stammers and stutters his way through this, and he's trying to tell him like, I was on your side the whole time, but I kind of wasn't.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, then why did Maggie and then just come right up my ass? And he's like, oh, well, I didn't know about everything.
Yeah. Yeah, he is a, I can't even say he's a silver-tongued devil because he's not that good. But, he likes to think that, I think he likes to think that he can talk his way out of anything. But, as far as the charisma goes, he's got zero.
Yeah.
But he's just like backpedaling and trying to like make excuses as to why he didn't know what Maggie and Jesus and everybody else was doing and all this stuff. Like he's like, oh, I had nothing to do with any of this. And for the most part, he didn't. For the most part, he didn't know what was going on. But for a man that's supposed to be in charge of this community, having absolutely no idea what's going on under his nose, that's not a good thing.
No, not at all. Not at all. And he's having a bad time.
I mean, that's just a level of incompetence that is off the charts.
Yeah. So Simon prospers a plan A and a plan B. And plan A is that they just take Gregory back there, and he calls it something like stiff and rigid or veiny, stiff and veiny show. There was a lot of dick talk in this episode.
There certainly was.
There was a ton of dick talk. But he says, yeah, we'll go show force, and if that doesn't work, we'll kill them all. And Negan doesn't like that idea. He's like, that's when he gets into his whole, you kill one person, that's cool. But you start killing everybody, people get mad.
Yeah.
And, he's kind of right. And then he's proven that point by making strategic choices in Glenn and Abraham. Though not necessarily, Glenn died because, well.
Yeah, I mean, he makes it sound like he doesn't want to kill people. He kills people because he has to. He's not really given a choice. He needs to do this to enforce his law or his rules, whatever, he's going by. Because he goes on and on about how people are resources. They're a commodity in this, they're the people that work for him. They're the people that gather supplies for him. Without these people, how are those saviors going to be getting by?
Right. You said their money on the table. That's exactly it. They're bringing in supplies.
Your mic's kind of cutting out a bit.
I'm sorry. Are you back?
I'm getting a lot of static from you.
I don't know what's going on. That's all I can do. I don't hear anything on my end.
It sounded really bad. I mean, maybe it's just my headphones. I don't know, but I'm getting a lot of static from you.
If I can pull the website, I can find out if I sound actually horrible. Oh, God damn it. All right, well, we're going to have a brief interlude. Why don't you talk about Father Gabriel and the trailer for a moment?
All right, so we finally get to see what happens with Father Gabriel and Negan in the trailer. Negan has been stuck there. Negan's of the mind that, he just needs to wait this out, that his people are going to come, they're going to find a way to get through this horde of walkers, and that, he just needs to wait it out. After he accosts Gabriel really quickly and disarms him, Gabriel decides that he realizes what his purpose is, and that he is there to get a confession out of Negan, that, Negan needs to confess his soul so that he can go to heaven. Gregory's still, all about the church and all about God. And he's decided that this is his purpose. And he starts questioning Negan about, what he needs to confess. And Negan's like, I got nothing to confess, He's like, everything I've done is it's been for our people. But Gabriel thinks that there's more to Negan. That there's oh.
Hi, can you hear me better?
A little bit better, yeah.
All right, cool. Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
All right, so back to all that. But I like that Negan says that killing people and getting people killed are two different things.
Yeah, very much so.
And
He thinks that he's killing people and that Rick is going to get people killed. And in a way, he's not wrong.
No, he's not. And basically everybody that died is Rick's fault in his mind.
Yeah.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. If you're looking at perspective of it is very different. He's not the bad guy.
No.
He's only killing people that actually need to be killed. And hopefully, that doesn't, end poorly for him.
Yeah. I mean, you look at it, the other way, like Rick, as much as he doesn't want to necessarily be the leader, Rick is kind of like a military general in this war. He knows that people are going to die on his side, but he's not letting that, control his actions. He's not letting that stop him from leading these people into battle against the saviors. That's whereas Negan doesn't necessarily want to lose people. He has no problem killing, people on the other side, but Rick knows that sacrifices are going to have to be made in order for the greater good.
I don't think Negan wants to lose people, because losing people is losing money and losing supplies, and that's not a good thing for the saviors at all.
And he doesn't want to lose people on either side. He doesn't want to lose his own people. He doesn't want to lose Rick's people, because, if he comes out on top in this conflict, Rick's people in the kingdom and Hilltop, they're all, gatherers for him.
Right. So that makes a lot of sense. And Gregory says that Negan asked Gregory why he stopped for that piece of crap, Gregory. and Father Gabriel says, I was looking for a purpose for my life or for my death. The reason is that I ended up here so that I could take your confession.
Yeah.
It got hard. I was like, oh my God, yes. Let's have a full-on Negan confession episode. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Happen.
No, not at all. Negan's of a mind that he's got nothing to confess for. He's got nothing, there's nothing weighing on his soul that he needs to get off his chest, that he is absolutely right in all that he's done.
That's not true. There's plenty weighing on his mind. He's just, he's in a sense of denial.
Well, yeah,
he's a tough guy.
Yeah.
He's a tough guy, and he doesn't want to admit to it. I think that's more to it.
Yeah. I'm sure everyone's got something they need to get off their chest. Negan, again, in that mentality, that mindset that he's in, that he's doing what he needs to do. If he doesn't see that he's doing anything wrong, then he's really got nothing. At least, post-apocalyptic Negan, who knows, when we finally get something out of him later on, it's something pre-zombie apocalypse, to the beginning of the apocalypse, so we get some of that stuff from there. So we don't really know much about Negan before the zombie outbreak.
There's a companion book to The Walking Dead. It's Here's Negan.
Yeah.
Negan's entire backstory.
Yeah.
Stuff is taken from there.
I don't know if I read that one or not.
I know I haven't. So I had a theory, but I had to look it up to make sure I was right, and I was close.
Okay.
So all right. So Rick and Daryl end up on the side of the highway with Yago for a rock, which I assume is to bash their heads in, but that's not going to be how it all works out for him.
Well, from his position, he'd be lucky to be able to bash a shin.
Yeah, maybe a toe.
Yeah.
Did Rick ask him who won? And he says, no one won. What are you talking about? Like, everybody died. And he's like, what do you mean everybody? You're still here. And he's like, yeah, me. And he's like, and he just runs it down like the king,
the Axeman,
the Axeman, and the crazy old lady.
The crazy lady with the short hair.
Has to be the greatest sitcom setup of all time. The king, the Axeman, and the crazy lady. Let's get them their own show.
Yeah, that sounds like a great 80s sitcom.
Right, there's a laugh track. It'll be awesome.
And it can be on right after Perfect Strangers.
It'll be right after Ride with Norman Reedus, followed by The King, the Axeman, and the Crazy Lady.
There you go.
I like it. So that guy died him off. Puts it through his head, so that's good. So nobody won, and they know who's alive.
Yeah.
And, all the red shirts died? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, cannon fodder.
Negan and Gabriel are just going to wait it out until Negan's people come in there. And he knows that'll work out. And he asked Gabriel why he became a priest. And he says, well, I wanted to help people through their weakest times.
Yeah, that and his love for God. And he wanted to bring those two things together. He wanted to bring people to God through his, his ability to comfort them through their time of weakness.
Right. And Negan says, oh, well, that, before all this happened, I help people in their time of weakness. Well, what are you talking about? And he's like, kids. Worked with kids. All right. So I start, thinking, okay, here's a guy. He uses a baseball bat as a weapon. He worked with kids. He's a baseball coach.
I think it was football, but
he's a gym teacher.
Yeah, he was a gym teacher.
Gym teacher. So, spoiler alert for anybody else. Yeah, oops. But yeah, so that's his occupation was on it in this episode, but
no, that's as close as we got. That's as close as we got to like a Negan backstory.
And his first wife's name is Lucille.
Yeah.
That'll all tie in, I'm sure.
But that kind of comes back to a little bit to what he confessed towards the end of the episode when he was, trying to get Gabriel to help him out.
Just didn't mention her name.
Well, I don't know if he mentioned her name, but what he talked about with his wife, it makes sense as to why he named his bat after her.
Really makes sense now. I looked it up and I was like, yeah, okay, good. I'm all good with that. Table at Sanctuary. The B team is trying to figure out how to get either to the outposts or to get the walkers back outside the fences, or basically to secure their position.
Yeah.
I like this little bit because Regina has this great plan where she's going to take 40 workers and put them out there. And Eugene just shuts that shit down. He's like, nope, that ain't going to work. They'll be surrounded in a minute. Your plan's dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in theory, what she was suggesting, it made sense. But, based on what Negan said prior to, the attack earlier about, not people being resources, you're not going to waste valuable resources. These people aren't trained. I'm sure these people aren't trained fighters. They're not really prepared to handle a horde of that size. And they'll get a few, but Eugene's right. They're going to get overrun pretty quickly.
Right,
and you're going to be out 40 workers, and there's going to be 40 new zombies out there.
You take those same 40 workers. This is 40 of Rick's people. And again, I go back to, remember when they were trapped in the tunnel?
Uh-oh, right, your mic just cut out. Oh, there you are.
Do you remember when they were trapped in the tunnel?
Yeah.
I said, you can get through the tunnel. All you have is time. You can beat every zombie out there.
Yeah.
That's all they have to do is take their time. And until Rick and them come back, they have all the time in the world.
Yeah. I mean, but, the fences are down, so the zombies are in. It's not like they have, a fence between them that they can just sit there and kill them through the fence. They've got zombies that are going to be coming onto them if they go out there to try and attack.
Yeah, but we know now that if you make noise over here, the zombies are going to run over here, and then you can kill the ones back here. Back here, they move again, and then you kill the ones at this end. So if you keep them moving on the backside, it's a piece of cake.
Maybe, but I don't think these people probably haven't had to do things like that very often. These are the kind of people that, need a group like the Saviors to kind of look out for them. Whereas Rick's group, they've spent years fighting these things. They've been fighting them across, from Atlanta all the way to Virginia. So, I mean, so they've, the trial by fire, they've, come up through this.
Yeah, and what it comes down to at the end of the episode is all the workers show up and are like, you promised us protection.
Yeah.
Protection. So yeah. So while they're at the table, they don't want to, use the workers in this capacity. It's stupid. You got to keep the workers in line, not happy, and that's what Simon's preaching right here. Can you keep the workers in line? And Dwight's like, I'm out of here, and if you won't do it, I will.
Yeah.
That's,
I think part of the issue is that the council's outnumbered by the number of workers. If the workers decided to revolt, the council might be in trouble.
Hear that, America? Yeah. Do you hear that, America?
This is a microcosm for what's going on in America right now.
I just want to point out that it's a lot like what's going on. So instead of dealing with the Horde, they're just like, let's table that conversation. Let's talk about who the fucking traitor is.
Yeah.
Who the traitor is?
We do.
Nobody else does.
No, I mean,
it looks like Eugene is going to catch the blame from Simon, and that figures, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he spent, he came from Rick's group. It makes sense that if Rick has all this information, that it had to have come from someone, at that table, and Eugene is the obvious choice. Now the question is how much did Eugene actually know?
Right. So right now, I don't think at that point Eugene doesn't know that Dwight is the traitor.
No, and at this point, Simon and the rest of the group don't realize the extent of the damage that Rick and his team have done. The only thing that
the outposts are there.
Well, the only thing, like they mentioned that one of the outpost trucks hasn't come by yet, and even if they saw the walkers out there, that the truck should have come by and gone back for reinforcements to come back to Sanctuary, but they haven't seen that truck yet. So that's their first indication that maybe there's something else going on out there. But for as far as they know, that they don't know that all these other outposts have been hit and these lookouts have been taken out. So they really have no idea the extent of Rick's campaign at this point.
Oh, it's been a hell of a campaign. They've done damage for sure.
I mean, there's been damage on both sides, but I think overall that Rick and his company have probably come out on top in this skirmish so far.
I believe that. Yeah, I'll take that. I hear Eugene brings Dwight some pickle, and because he's got to get some pickle Rick in.
Eugene loves his pickles.
Pickles, and well, you can't blame him.
I mean, we saw that back when Eugene first got to Sanctuary, and then they give him that jar of pickles.
That's his thing.
Yeah,
like Carl's pudding.
Yeah. Where's his little stock monkey though?
But while he's in the room there, he checks out Dwight's little chess set and he gets a little red paint on his thumb. And I was like, "Why is the red paint important?"
You got red on, yeah.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead all of a sudden.
I was waiting for somebody to say that.
I wish they would. I mean, I guess they can't, but
I mean, there's nothing that says they couldn't do it.
Crack pop culture jokes like that all the time, and I hate in shows that they're not allowed to do that because it's such a huge part of comedy for me and my friends anyway.
Yeah.
So I just, if you can't bust a Monty Python line here and there. All right, so back in the trailer, we kind of covered this earlier with kids. He's trying to find the vulnerable point with Negan, and he's like, "Well, what about the women you forced into being your wives?" And that's it. Button. And while Negan gets distracted in his thought of his first wife, with the gun in his waistband, and that goes poorly.
Well, I mean, not super poorly. He gets the gun, but he doesn't. But then he gets knocked over. Zombie starts breaking through the door, and he hightails it for the other room.
Yeah, and he's a cowardly guy, and he runs away, and that's what he does. So.
I mean, and we've known this. I mean, we've known about Gabriel being a coward. It's a big point of his character, going back to, he even talks about it in this episode too, but what happened to his congregation when the outbreak happened, You know, this is who he is. I mean, he's had moments of bravery here and there, but at his core, he's not a brave man.
Yeah, that's just coming up here in a minute here. So, all right. So right
Are we
before they
back at
leave,
Rick? Are we back at Rick and
Sarah.
Daryl?
Yes, Rick and Daryl have to go waste some supplies. Fight over how they deal with the saviors. Go hole in the place and let the walkers in. And this is our group's little civil war for this season. It's been splitting everybody apart. Whether how do you deal with them? Let them live. And Tara has been of the opinion that Rick is on the kill him side. Rick's on the let him live side.
Yeah. I mean,
however, pro kill him.
Oh, Daryl's all about killing him. And that doesn't surprise me from Daryl. I mean, we've seen Daryl, in the beginning of the series, Daryl was a hard ass. Daryl didn't care. You've seen Daryl, grow conscious, have a heart, be this nice guy, this guy that was willing to go out of the way to help people. And now we're kind of going back to like this hard ass, like, what, fuck them, kill them all. They do it to us if they got the chance.
Yeah, I think Daryl as a character has been since the beginning driven by revenge.
Yeah,
big part of his character. And that part go.
No, I mean, the original vengeance issue with his brother, that was been resolved, season 3 or season 4, when Merle finally came back with his little metal arm and everything. The whole, Daryl Merle thing, it's been put to rest. And, Daryl hasn't really had an issue like that. I mean, Dwight was the closest thing to revenge he's needed in a while.
He's still taking responsibility for Glenn, so that's where this vengeance is coming from.
Yeah, but I mean, he's at this point now, he's willing to throw innocent people in harm's way. I mean, granted, I get where he's coming from. If you're with the saviors, you're bad. But Rick makes the point that these workers here, some of them are there just because they need a way to survive. It doesn't make them all bad people, but sometimes it's kind of hard to distinguish.
Citizens that work for the government that's not good are not bad people.
Yeah, something like that. It's not like
don't bomb us.
It's not like they're all a bunch of skinheads and they're like, there's some good people in there too, but
Way more was in there with Harvey Weinstein. By all means, blow the door open, let the walkers in.
Maybe they might try to fuck them too. Who knows?
It could be a party. It could be how they roll.
Maybe Weinstein offers one of the zombies to part in his next movie.
What next movie?
Well, they don't know.
Oh, he's got nothing.
I'm saying the zombies don't know about his next. He doesn't.
Yeah, they don't know.
They're not up on current affairs.
They don't have like a zombie E. Then they get in the little fisticuffs and they punch each other around, and the internet went wild. Doug and Rick can't fight their brothers, man.
But brothers fight. Brothers do fight. I mean, Captain America, Steve Rogers and Tony Stark got in a big old epic fight. This kind of shit happens. They're brothers. But this is the second time now we've seen, a fight break out between, members in the same group. We had Jesus and Morgan a couple episodes back. Now we have Rick and Daryl fighting.
Civil War.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very serious issue. This is the kind of issue that's bringing, friends to come trade blows. I mean, when you're talking about just mass slaughtering people, yeah, it's not an easy subject. It's not just a black and white subject. It's not just kill them all or no, let them all live, because there isn't a easy answer in this kind of situation. And when you're talking about killing people, it is going to cause tensions to flare.
Allowed to pick and choose. I mean, killing Negan's okay, but killing the kids inside the sanctuary that are workers isn't. So that's kind of.
Yeah, I mean, and And it's not like you. I mean, I'm sure Rick and them, know who they know who like the head guys in the saviors are, so they could say, okay, well, these guys for sure got to go. But how do you know throughout the workers who are the ones that really sided with Negan, or the ones that were just looking for a way to survive?
They better not.
You can't just say, okay, they're not gonna, I don't think they're gonna hold like trials and be like, okay, did you really want to side with Negan, or were you just looking for a way to get by? Okay, you sided with Negan, boom, you got to go. That's
what
all the
Negan
effort
wants to do. That's what Negan wants to do. He wants to take Rick and the Widow and the King and put them on display and kill them.
Well, yeah, but I mean, regardless, Negan wants everybody. He doesn't care who you sided with, because once you've broken these people down, they're going to do what he wants them to do. It's not the same way for Rick and them. Rick's not looking. They're not looking to break these people down and say, okay, you've got nothing left. Come with us now. You're working for us. Because they're not in this. They've never had, their society isn't necessarily based on, okay, you do all the work, we reap all the benefits. They're kind of a society of equals.
Yeah, more of a communal society than a dictatorship.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, when they fight until like it's about to all explode, and then they're like, "Oh no, help me up!" And then they like run off together. We just wasted all that dynamite. Aren't we fucking smart? Because that shit comes in handy later.
Yeah, it does. Especially you give it to Tara and Rosita and let them have some fun with it.
Right. You don't know when you're going to need some dynamite. Why would you waste those kind of supplies?
Yeah.
That scene, I hated it.
My only hope is that they actually got the guns out of there before they blew up the truck.
I wish they would have killed each other. That would have made the series go. Everybody's head would have exploded.
It definitely made it interesting, and there would have been a lot of internet hate if they killed off Daryl.
Like Daryl punches him and then shoots him in the head, then gets all like emo, and then just caps himself, and it's a murder suicide.
I don't think people would be as up in arms about Rick dying, but man, you killed Daryl, and the internet would fucking they'd revolt.
They would ride in the streets. All right, so it's Guts 3. Biller so quaintly put it in his spoiler-free hashtags today. I thought Guts 3 was one of my favorite hashtags. I'll get to the chopper, but we'll get to that. So yeah, they got to work together to get across the pack before the walkers. And an interesting conversation ensues where Negan says, as they're spreading the guts on him, he's like, has anybody ever gotten sick from this? And no, we've done it. We've done it on Talking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead. We've done it a couple of times. No one's ever gotten sick. Why would you fucking bring it up and make Father Gabriel sick?
Well,
all right. So
before that, we get Negan's little confession.
Yeah. Before all that, Gabriel tells Negan about his congregation and locking them out. And I like that Negan comes back and be like, that was fucked up. You shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. I mean, when Negan tells you that that's a fucked up thing to do, something's not right there.
Yeah. Oh, something just happened in my fantasy league because the guy I'm playing this week just posted on our board.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. We'll find out after this is over. All right. So he says that Father Gabriel says that every day he tries to repent for that action. So Negan needs to confess his sin, and he calls Gregory all cowardly and spineless and said that his first wife died and she was sick before that, but he cheated on her anyway. And then when she turned, he couldn't put her down, and somebody else had to do it.
Yeah.
Or, he just let her go or whatever.
Yeah. And that's, this isn't the first time we've heard that. I mean, look at Morgan. Morgan couldn't kill his wife.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, he couldn't kill his wife, couldn't kill his son. I mean, even though they'd both kill him in an instant if they got the chance, this is somebody that you've dedicated your life to. This is, your flesh and blood, your significant other. Would it be so easy to kill them if they turned like that?
Right. Would he be able to put down zombie Carl?
But look, on the other hand, look at Carl. Carl had no problem putting his mom down after she turned.
Because Carl's a fucking badass.
This is true. I mean,
Yeah,
and then on the other hand, you've got
Gabriel
Carol,
is
who's
no.
on the other hand, you've got
I'm
Carol,
sorry.
who's killing kids. You know,
Right?
with that.
Gabriel is no Carl.
No, no, not at all.
So she died, and that's a good enough confession for Gabriel. So he opens the door and he's like, "What's
And
that
Negan just
nigga?
fucking pops him in the nose.
Hey,
I love that.
fuck you,
You can keep the gun,
fuck you
by the
for the
way.
yeah," and then just lets him have the gun. Like, all right, we're cool. I think that's how it works with Negan. It's just like, I'm gonna punch you in the face, and after that, we're just cool.
Yeah, I mean, Negan's all about, kind of just getting even, I think, like even with like when Carl came along and opened fire with the machine gun and like killed a couple people, you know, Negan, made him take off his bandage, made him sing a song for him, and they're all good. Then he went back to Alexandria and made him spaghetti. I mean, Negan's not, he doesn't take, yeah, well, okay. I was When it comes to people like that, he doesn't take more than what he thinks he's owed. For other
Right,
people,
correct.
when it comes to supplies and stuff, yeah, he'll take whatever he can get, but he's still kind of fair about it. Like, we'll take 50% of what you have. We'll leave you some stuff because you need to be able to work for us, but we're taking the rest of it.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean,
I like it though.
Negan's kind of fair like that. Gabriel took a shot at him, so Negan took a shot back. And we're cool now. Let's get out of here.
Right, he's a fair and just Negan.
He is.
All right, so they got up and they head out into the sanctuary, and guess who trips? Yeah, Father Gabriel, because he's inept. And so he empties the clip and doesn't kill much, but it looks like they're going to get falled on by a bunch of walkers, and it cuts away. All right, cool, okay, whatever, well, we get it.
Let me. So going back really quick to the whole thing about asking about has people gotten sick from covering themselves with zombie guts? I wonder if this is kind of foreshadowing what happened in the comic books later on towards the end of the war, where they were dipping arrows in zombie stuff
at that point in the comic book. Yeah. So that could be coming, and I can skip ahead. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, right. So later in the episode, Negan is talking to Eugene, and he's like, "I'm not going to tell you that I'll kill you if you don't figure out how to get us the fuck out of this, but I'm going to kill you.
Yeah,
if you don't figure out how to get us out of this." In the comic book, he makes that statement about making bullets.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. That's I thought that was initially why they took Eugene.
Right. I thought that's why they took Eugene, but they haven't used Eugene making bullets as part of this story.
No.
So now it's just about getting us out of here. So this may be where the dipping the arrows and Lucille in Walker guts come from.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see if that comes up. And yeah, and then that's why we asked, is making like, okay, so maybe Father Gabriel is sick and dying in his little cell because he had a cut and then rubbed zombie gut on it, and now he's infected.
Or maybe something, got in his mouth or something, yeah. If it could have gotten into any kind of open sore or wound,
And I don't want them to pull this off, because if they do this, then it's been done on Fear the Walking Dead. This kid's been walking around for 3 seasons covered in guts.
Yeah.
So if he's not sick, nobody's ever gotten sick from the first time they did it. It's guts 3. It's third time it's happened. So
is this the third time they've done it on Walking Dead?
Yeah, I think so. Glenn did it the first time, and then they all did it when Sam, the little whiny bitch kid, died.
Yeah.
And then and then this one.
Okay.
So they go back in there. Okay, so it goes back in, and Simon, let's see, there's a problem and he's like, yeah, the walkers. And he's like, no, that's not the problem.
Oh no, when Neck Tattoo came in, we haven't seen her in a few episodes.
Yeah, it was a nice first show. I mean, he showed up in a sports bra. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for her and Eugene to hook up.
It's gonna happen. I'm shipping it.
I want that one to happen.
Oh, it says the Saviors are back and they're talking about trying to get to the outposts. But the problem isn't the walkers at the moment; it's the workers. And Simon tells them to go back. Oh, the power's been out, and he tells them that we cut the power to save gas, which I think is total bullshit. I think we can all agree with that.
Yeah.
We want to know where Negan is, and Regina's like, "I'm Negan, gun," and she shoots the dude. It's just like it was the most random shooting.
Yes,
the guy pulled a gun, but there was another guy in between them. She seemed to shoot right through him into the other guy.
I mean, she might have been a marksman prior to the zombie apocalypse.
She's good.
Yeah,
she's good. So she says, "I am Negan." Then you start hearing the whistle, and oh shit, and everybody bows down on their knee. No, that's good times. And then their savior comes up there and he makes his little speech about, "I'm not dead. I'm not gonna die. I ain't gonna die until I got to it's balls of steel, nutsack, and whatever." Right? Old TikTok. He says he needs a shower and a massage, and then he's gonna have a chat with his number 2 about why shit went sideways. And I like that.
Yeah, because now with workers having weapons now, that poses a whole new problem.
Right, because the workers didn't have access to the weapons. So they take Gabriel into custody, throw this bag of guns, and they're like, "Yep, we found this whole bag of guns that the workers had, and that's bad." And everybody's like, "Yeah, that's really fucking bad." And then Eugene notices that there's something amiss about the bag. What could it be? Red paint.
Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun.
So right here, he knows.
Yeah. Dwight better be getting him some fucking pickles now.
Right? Better be some mad pickles and some sweet. I don't want none of that gherkin shit. I want some sweet pickles.
I want dill. I want, bring me the Vlasic.
All right. Rick walking down the road sees the chopper.
Well, no. Before that, I love when when Rick and Glenn parted, or Rick and Daryl parted ways, and he's like,
"Chokeholds are illegal."
Yeah, looks like I'm walking. Yeah, you are. Just take off.
Yeah, they actually tagged back to the first season with the chokeholds are illegal line. That was Shane and Daryl in the first season, and they said the chokeholds were illegal, and then Daryl used it on Rick.
See, and I couldn't figure out what exactly it was he said. I tried cranking the volume on my TV, but I couldn't quite make out what it was.
Golds are illegal. That's what he said. I wrote something about that. Where is it? It was really stupid, but it says Rick's Jeep won't start, but Daryl's bike is fine. Rick wants to stick to the plan. Daryl says we got to win. Rick agrees. Saying chokeholds are illegal. Daryl agrees. Rick guesses he's walking. Daryl agrees, and they head off in separate directions.
Yeah.
So So anyway, Rick walking down the road and sees Chopper. Who's fucking Chopper?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that there's still a working chopper at this point, the fact that somebody can still fly it, that there's fuel for the chopper. I mean, we haven't seen a chopper since season 3.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Not since the one crashed outside. Yeah, since the one crashed near Woodbury.
So yeah, it's been a while since we've seen Chopper. Are we going to speculate that this belongs to Jadis and the kids of the Black Parade?
Oh, I don't think so.
Do you think it may be a larger group led by someone whose name is also a chain in California?
I'm not sure which character they're talking about there.
First 2 letters of the Greek alphabet.
Okay. But no, I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm sure it's not Jadis. I don't think anybody in that group's smart enough to know how to work a helicopter, unless they're
I don't think
it's
so either.
unless it's just like an act they put on this whole like monosyllabic, you get gun, you know.
They
But
they
yeah, I don't
can't
think
they
where are they going
can't
to hide it in
figure
their
out
junkyard?
they can't figure out bangs. They certainly can't figure out helicopters.
And they couldn't figure out how to get across the lake with some zombies in it.
Boats,
Yeah,
boats.
boats.
So yeah, so then so yeah, we don't know whose chopper it is. I could speculate about future events, but I don't know. I don't know. Well, that'll be interesting to see when and if we ever find out. I'm sure we will. I
Yeah,
don't think it'll be before the finale of the mid-season. There's still what, 3 episodes?
there are 3 episodes
6,
left.
7. Fuck it, and I finally get Michonne 3 episodes to go. Are you kidding?
And here's the thing: there's probably going to be the only Michonne you get until next season, until the next half.
I know it'll be one little bit, and she'll be gone. So then it shows Rick walking. It looks like up to the Black Parade place, right?
Yeah. Well, the preview for next week shows him talking to them. So
all right. So he's going to see Bangs, and yeah, and then Eugene visits Gabriel with pillow, and he's sick and looks like he's going to die. So and that's where we finale. Is Father Gabriel doomed next week?
maybe. I mean, it depends. I mean, if he got some kind of zombie sickness from the blood in the guts, then yeah, it's probably safe to say. It could just be he got sick. It's he got ill. There was something that was coming for a while, and just finally caught up with him. We don't know. The shows like that where they're never going to give you the answer right away. They're going to make you wait for it.
Did you like this episode? Did you hate it? I hated it, but I just wondered what you thought of it.
It was fine. I mean, there were definitely, I was happy to finally get some more Negan because I dig Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and him as Negan is just fun. Plus, we got a fair amount of Simon, which again also fun. There are very few characters on the show that are as fun as those two guys. So any chance we get to have some of those guys, have some of that fun, I'll take it.
Well, they can be like peripheral characters on the King, the Axeman, and the Crazy Lady.
They could be like recurring, cast members.
They could run a B&B together. Simon and Negan's.
Nice. Yeah, no, I mean, the episode was fine. It was.
Wait a minute, I'm not done.
Oh, okay.
The slogan of the B&B is, "Oh, you'll sleep like you've been hit over the head."
And there'll be pancakes when you wake up.
And yeah, breakfast foods in the morning, the continental breakfast with smiley face pancakes.
Fill yourself with love.
Fill yourself with their love. That's right. Fill yourself with their love. Simon and Negan now taking reservation.
I'd stay there.
I want a shirt. I totally do. I want to get married there. All right. Anyways, go ahead. We can move on now. I'm done.
No, I think that's about it. I mean, looking forward to next week. I think Rick is stupid. Why the hell would they go back to Jadis and the Black Parade after they betrayed them once? This does not seem like a good idea.
Because when he was a young boy, his father took him into the city
to see a marching band. Yeah, I mean, this is, would you go back to somebody that betrayed you and double-crossed you once? Do you think you can, go back and, expect different results this time around?
Her name was Sarah, and it happened. My analogy, I use this analogy all the time when friends of mine like get back together with somebody they broke up with. I'm like, you ever go to the fridge and like for your morning coffee and pull the milk out and go, oh my God, the milk's bad. Oh, that's horrible. Let me put it back in the fridge and make it. Maybe it'll get better tomorrow. Yeah. Bad milk doesn't get better. Throw it out.
No. Yeah. Unless Rick was going there to kill all of them, I don't see any reason why he'd go and try and recruit, goth kids.
He's going to go tell her that they made a big deal. And I don't know. I think he wants to bang her. I don't know.
Maybe.
She
I mean,
said,
yeah, maybe
when
maybe
this
those
is over,
maybe that Jim Carrey Lloyd Bangs just does it for him.
that's his thing. Everybody's got a thing.
Yeah, maybe he's tired of Michonne. Figure, let her go so Mike can have his chance, and
Yeah.
I'll go take Bangs McGee over there.
I was complaining to Kristen that Michonne hadn't been in an episode yet again. And she's like, no, I came in and watched the first part of the episode. I saw her and I was like, no, babe, she wasn't in it. She goes, no, I saw her talking to a little kid. And I'm like, babe, that was King Ezekiel. That just because it's black with dreadlocks doesn't mean it was Michonne.
His are white, hers are not.
Yeah, so that happened. All right, well, I think that's going to take care of it. We'll speculate next week about the helicopter. Do you have any Kings games that are going to interrupt this?
4
weeks, the next 4 weeks.
Let me check. I don't think we can talk about this off air. I don't think we're going to be.
Doesn't matter. Nobody's listening.
Let's see. No, I think we're good for the next few weeks.
All right, cool. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do in the meantime, in the break. We'll probably take a break till after Christmas. Figure something out for the new year. We were talking about doing some catch-up stuff on Game of Thrones.
And Preacher.
Preacher. Yeah, we got Westworld coming back next year.
Not soon enough.
Not soon enough. Yeah, but we got a lot to do. We'll cover all that. So,
yeah, we'll
all right. Until next week, folks. Hopefully, we'll have this audio thing worked out next week, and it won't be late, and it won't be a problem. Until then, love many, trust few, do unto no one. Night.